Welcome to the human side of wellness with me, Robin O'Grady. I have gone out and collected stories of wellness and well being from colleagues and friends of mine to share with you. The purpose of this series is to show that wellness is a whole lot of different things and it encompasses so many different things for so many different people. And that where you are in your wellness journey is the right place. Be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself. And if you're striving for more, if you want more, that is possible, but it doesn't look the same for every two people. It's so important that we remember that every person has their own path, and that no matter what the trends say, no matter what your favorite trainer or celebrity says, there is a path for you that is the right path, but most of the information that you need about that comes from within you and your own body. So I'm going to share these stories with you, and I'm going to share my perspective on these stories. I know these people. These are people that are in my circles and in my life, and in many cases I've been through part of their story with them, and they were so generous in sharing their stories with us. And we're just going to talk about the human side of wellness and what that looks like. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for taking the time. I'm reading off the back of my screen, so if you sometimes see my eyes darting around, that's the only thing that's happening there. Bear with me. This is our first one. I'm so excited, and we're going to have a few more coming after this. Just a quick note, I am not a therapist, and this is not medical advice. This is a human conversation about what well-being can look like in real life. Our first story comes from Denise. Denise has had quite a story, and it's really incredible. I'm going to share it with you now. Fitness is my lifeline. Fitness to me is wellness. It's more than exercise. It's my social life, my mental reset, my strength, and my peace. I go to the gym not just for my body, but for my mind and for my soul. My fitness journey began 22 years ago when I met my husband. He trained 6 days a week and competed in triathlons. Early in our relationship, he bought me a gym membership, and that simple gesture changed my life. I worked out regularly, even into my pregnancy, right up to 8.5 months. We have that in common, Denise. After my daughter was born, my husband worked nights, and getting to the gym wasn't realistic. So I walked a lot with a stroller and with purpose. 14 months later, we welcomed our second child. Then came a big move from Alberta to Ontario, to a town where I knew no one. Lonely but determined, I joined the YMCA and I threw myself into playgroups and classes. I rediscovered step class, another commonality here, something I had only dabbled in before. And it became my anchor. Once my kids were in school, group fitness became a bigger part of my life. It wasn't just about movement anymore, it was about community. I made lasting friendships. I found belonging. I know so many of you can relate to that part. Then in 2010, everything changed. I was diagnosed with breast cancer and faced chemotherapy, a mastectomy, and radiation. But I kept going to the gym. It grounded me and it gave me strength. I truly believe that my commitment to fitness helped me avoid many side effects. The gym became my sanctuary, a space where I wasn't a patient, I was just a person. Eventually, we moved back to Alberta. I joined the recreation center, took dance classes, started running again, and once more found my tribe. But I began to feel pain in my hips, and as breast cancer patient, any new pain brings fear. I called it the little devil on my shoulder. In 2016, I received another blow. Stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Metastatic, excuse my pronunciation. The cancer had spread to my spine and sacrum. I was given 2 to 3 years. I was devastated. My mother had died of metastatic breast cancer when I was 16, and now here I was facing the same diagnosis, but with children even younger than I was back then. Shortly after the diagnosis, I qualified for a newly fast-tracked drug. It gave me hope. Around that time, my husband took a job in Prince Rupert, BC, but the nearest cancer center was 8 hours away. I made the difficult decision to move to Calgary with my kids, closer to friends and care. I kept going because I had to. My daughter was in competitive gymnastics, training 20 hours a week. My son did taekwondo. They needed me, and I needed something for me. I joined Spa Lady with another cancer patient. Sadly, she passed away within the year. But I stayed. I found a new tribe. They were my people. Over time, one of my medications began to deteriorate my joints. Group classes became more difficult, but I adapted. Despite new lesions appearing in my sternum, back, legs, my cancer remained stable. As long as it was in the bones and not the organs, I kept moving. Scan after scan, month after month, I stayed stable. My doctors were amazed I was beating the odds for 9 years. Eventually, the medication stopped working. The cancer spread to my liver. That was over a year ago. But I still go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week. It's my lifeline. My tribe lifts me up. Instructors like Robin, with her compassionate, informed, and motivating style, have made a massive impact on my life. Thank you, Denise. Fitness gives me normalcy. It gives me control in a life where there is so much uncertainty. My first goal was to live to see my daughter graduate, then my son. Check, check. With them now grown and more independent, I focus more on me. I even checked a trip to Greece off of my bucket list. 3 weeks with a girlfriend who couldn't keep up with me. Now I want to see the world, experience all I can while I still can. It's been nearly 16 years since I was first diagnosed with breast cancer, and I'm still active, still moving forward. Every day is a challenge, physically, mentally, emotionally. But I know this: if I don't prioritize fitness, it's a downward slide that I'm not ready to take. So I lace up, I show up, and I keep going. I have an update for you on Denise's story that she just told me this week. She just found out that there are no more spots on her liver. So things are definitely looking up on that front. I want to thank her for sharing her story with us. I feel blessed and honored to have been part of it with her, even if just a very small part. If I could do anything to motivate and to help her be there and lace up and show up, then I feel very, very honored and proud indeed. What really stood out to me about her story today is that there is this thread that goes through of community and how critical that was for her in the whole of her journey from day one to today. The second thing that I noticed is that she is really driven to something that was very much more powerful than even herself. And that was in her family and her kids and her friends and her colleagues and the people that her tribe, that, as she said, those are her words. And again, I guess my point one and point two come back to the same thing. It's so important that we are surrounding ourselves with people who really do care for us, but also finding purpose. And that purpose for her was in life, but also in these two amazing beings that she brought to life, and how important her kids were to her and are to her to this day. What I want to underline for all of you is that there are so many days that come with choice, and we allow ourselves to think of it in a different way. We allow ourselves to believe that we have no choice. And in many cases, anybody would agree with you. At any part of this journey, if Denise had just said, I'm too tired, I can't go to the gym, who wouldn't understand? everybody would understand. But she made that choice even when it was really hard. And so recognize that choice exists way more often than we allow ourselves to believe that it does exist. Sometimes it comes with difficult, repercussions, but every once in a while, that difficult path is the one that's going to take us through to the end in a much more positive way. And so she has represented that so fully in this story. It really is just amazing. So as you're going through, after listening to this, I encourage you to take just 5 minutes, just a few minutes to sit down and just reflect on her story and the path that you felt that she chose. And we would love to hear, both she and I, your thoughts and feelings. Like, comment below and tell us what you're thinking. And if you want to share your story with me for this series, I have more space for more stories. So let me know, because everybody's story is important and everybody has a story, and it's so important to others that they hear someone who maybe is on a similar path or has done something similar. And that's so valuable. And you could change somebody else's life, which is great, but also telling your own story is fulfillment for you as well. Thank you all for being here today. I will see you on the next one. Have a great week.